Hey, 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 ladies. I am thrilled to be back here today for week 3 of our book club on Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. We are on week 3, and we're going to be starting on page 106 today. We are on wealth file number 9, okay? Wealth file number 9. Whoever is on right now, thanks for joining. If you can hear me, would you just give me a like, a happy face, or say, yes, I can hear you just fine. Let me know. Would you do that, please, real quick? Make sure I don't need to make any adjustments. That would be super helpful for me. And then we're going to jump in to book club. Just want to make sure, because I sure hate to waste all these words that I have, because I'm limited on words every day. All right. Well, I'm going to jump in then. If you join me, I want you to answer, as you're joining me, answer the question, have you read the book? Are you keeping up? And are you doing the exercises? That would be really helpful, because at the end of each chapter, there are action steps that we're taking that are helping us to move forward in our mindset on money. Thank you for that heads up, thumbs up, whoever just gave me that. I really appreciate it. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this, ladies. Welcome to third week of the Millionaire Mindset. This is all about helping us move forward to create wealth, because wealth can do so much for us, right? So not just about what it does for ourselves, but of course that is first, but it's about what we can do for others as well, which is just awesome if you are that type of person. And I'm assuming if you are joining us, you are that type of a person. So if this is your first time, you do not need the book to be part of our book club. What we're doing is we're going through actually part 2 of the book. I go through about 4 chapters a week. Next week will be our final week. And then I just give some highlights and I do the action steps and we do some declarations. Good day to you too, B. This is Kathy. So great to see you. You are checking in all the way from Nigeria. What a blessing to have you with us, girlfriend. I love it. I love it. So for those of you just joining us, just to give you a recap, and this is good for all of us to know because you may need to go back and do this exercise yourself. Part 1 of this book is talking about our money mindset and how as children, we see things, we hear things, or we experience certain things ourselves that create the story and our thoughts that we have around money. And so sometimes that may not be so good. And so what happens as we get older, if we keep that money story that we have created for ourselves that might not be so good, every time that we have to make a financial decision, we go into our file cabinet and we pull out the file that says money, and we read and we make our decisions, our financial decisions, on that story that we've been telling ourselves our whole lives about money. And by the way, we may not be making such great financial decisions. I know for me, this is the 3rd time I'm reading this book. I first started reading it about 10 years ago. And I'm in a different place than I am now than I was when I first started reading it. And I'm so excited. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to share this with you, is because I'm redoing my money mindset, because I've made some poor decisions over the past years because I had not created or was using my better money mindset. So I'm going to encourage you to take a look at your money mindset. If you need to change what's called your money blueprint, you need to go and do that. And then you can jump into part 2 of the book. So, alrighty. Now I've lost my glasses. Okay, we're going to have to go with red today. I will be Christmas colors today, red and green. We're on page 106, and we're going to be on wealth file number 9, okay? Page 106. Yes, Gina says, we have been wired since childhood. Very eye-opening when you read the book. Yeah, and by the way, once you learn this technique about changing your thoughts, we're only talking about money in this book club, but you can change your thoughts on anything. By the way, it's called causal coaching. It's the way that I do life coaching. It's how I've been trained, and I've been using it for years. So if you ever get coached by me, that's how we're going to do it. We're just going to change your thoughts so you can change your story and get the results that you want. Fair enough? And in this one, it's getting more of these greenbacks. Okay, wealth file number 9. Rich people are bigger than their problems. Poor people are smaller than their problems. So getting rich, by the way, is not a stroll in the park, right? It's a journey that is full of twists and turns, detours and obstacles. The road to wealth is fraught with traps and pitfalls, and that's precisely why most people do not continue on the journey to building wealth. They don't want the hassles, they don't want the headaches, and they don't want the responsibilities. In addition, they just don't want the problems. Can anybody relate to that? I mean, honestly, I'll be honest with you. I have been at places in my life where it's like, I just don't want all the hassles that are going to come with that. And that's really not fair. You know, I'm capable of so much more. And if I will just open up my mind and look at myself and become a bigger person, I can handle those obstacles. I don't need to think small. That's just a story I'm telling myself, right? So the wealth principle here is the secret to success is not to try to avoid or get rid or shrink from your problems. The secret is to grow yourself so that you are bigger than any problem. Does that make sense to you all? Can anybody share something here if you'd like to? This is interactive. This isn't all about me. I love getting thumbs up, happy faces, emojis, and comments. And I will try to address the comments here. But if I miss it while we're doing the book club today, I'll come back and make comments below. But if you have found yourself shrinking from problems or being an avoider of conflict, that would be me. Then you need to look at yourself and do a little bit of inner work. And I'm doing that right now because I've had some conflicts that have arisen that I'm shrinking away from, and I need to look inside and see where I need to make changes, because the bigger the problem and the bigger the conflict I can handle, the more wealth I'm going to start creating faster. Yes, Angela, we are on page 106, wealth file number 9, okay? So note that whether you are rich or poor, playing big or playing small, problems don't go away. Would you agree with that? Problems don't go away. Whether you're rich or poor, you're going to have a problem. So wouldn't it be nicer to be rich? Be rich rather than poor and have those problems, right? If you're breathing, you're always going to have so-called problems and obstacles in your life. So let's make this short and sweet. The size of the problem is never the issue. What matters is the size of you. Woo, that hits me. Okay, Gina, you want me to share that? Avoider of conflict. That would be your husband. Yeah, and you know, yes, I know that about your husband, and we can trace that all the way back to the way that he was raised, right? That was the situation that he was raised in. He saw conflict and he didn't like it, and he experienced that conflict, and so he avoids it but he can change that story. We know that. We're going to work on him, right? Now that he's retired. I think he's going to be open to some things, and I bet you can talk to him maybe about this. So let's see, where am I? I'm kind of losing my track because I get off track because I get so excited about this. So rich people are bigger than their problems, poor people are smaller than the problems. Correct. So this may be painful, friends. I mean, it is to me sometimes. You know, I get slapped upside the head with these types of things. It's like, okay, you got to change. You've got to go internally and make some change and change your thoughts. But if you're ready to move to the next level, which I'm assuming you're doing this book club with us because you want to move to the next level, you're going to have to become conscious of what's really going on in your life. Are you ready? Yep, here goes. So the wealth principle, if you have a big problem in your life, all that means is that you are being a small person. Woo! Okay. Now, if you come across, so here's a suggestion for you, and I think we're going to go over this again in the action steps, but if you have a problem or a conflict and you notice that right away and you start to shrink back from it, what you want to do is say, mini me, mini me, mini me. That will abruptly wake you up and move your attention back to where it belongs, on yourself. It's not the problem, it's yourself and how you are confronting this problem, okay? All right, so listen to this. This is very encouraging. The bigger the problems you can handle, the bigger the business you can handle, and the bigger the responsibility you can handle. That means the more employees you can handle, the more customers you can handle, the more projects you can handle, the more money you can handle, right? And ultimately, that means the more wealth you can handle. So start tackling these small problems now. Yes, ouch, you are being a small person. Yes, ouch for me is right. Okay, think of yourself as a container for wealth. That means the bigger the container, the more wealth you can have. Do you want to have this? Or do you want to have this? You don't need a very big container for this, but you need a really big container for this, okay? I think this is such a valuable lesson right here. I want to have a large container for my wealth, and I want that container to get larger and larger and larger. Who's with me on that? Anybody? Anybody? Okay, guess we're not quite there yet. I think you are. Rich people do not back away from problems. They do not avoid problems. They do not complain about problems. I used to be a complainer. I don't think I am anymore. I mean, I have my certain people that I complain to. They just listen to me. They have empathy, and then we move on, right? Rich people are financial warriors. The bottom line is, if you want to become a master, yes, Terry, yes, Terry, yes. If you want to become a master at handling problems and overcoming obstacles, any obstacle, what can stop you from success? The answer is absolutely nothing. Nada, not a thing. All right? You are unstoppable, okay? The answer is yes, you are unstoppable. Okay, so now this is where we get to the point in the book. We're on page 110. At the end of each one of these wealth principles, we have a declaration, and then we have some action steps. So here's how we do that, everyone. I want you to put your hand over your heart, and I want you to say, I am bigger than any problem. Say that with me. I am bigger than any problems. I can handle any problems, right? Everybody say that with me. Okay, your hand should be over the heart when you do that. And then you're going to touch your head and you're going to say, I have, whoops, hold on a second. I just lost something. I have a millionaire mindset. Woohoo! Congratulations, congratulations. Yes, Beatrice, yes. Yes, you are unstoppable. You have a money mindset. If you can do that and start working on it, you are working on building your wealth. Woohoo! I love it. Okay, we are on wealth file number 10, page 111. Rich people are excellent receivers and poor people are poor receivers. Ooh, have you ever really thought about that? Okay. People are challenged by receiving for several reasons. I mean, let's just forget money for a second. Let's think about when somebody gives you a compliment. Oh, wow, I love your new dress. What do you say sometimes? Oh, this old thing, I've had it for years. Oh my gosh, I got it at the thrift store. Oh. You shrink away from receiving a compliment. If you cannot take a compliment, how are you going to receive money? How are you going to receive other gifts? Listen, we've got to be open to receiving as well as giving. But people are challenged by receiving for several reasons. First, many people feel unworthy or undeserving. Oh, does anybody feel unworthy out there or undeserving? Because it's not true. You are all worthy and you are all deserving. And let me just say to you, this is something that I learned from Gina. If you don't feel you are worthy at this moment or you are deserving at this moment, we think that you are, and you can borrow that from us. You can borrow that belief from us that you are worthy and you are deserving until you believe it yourself. Right, Gina? Gina, if you can, would you write that down? That you are worthy, you are deserving, and that you can borrow that belief from us until you believe it yourself. Okay, ladies, we do what we do, Gina and I, because we believe you are all worthy and deserving of so much more. And we believe that for ourselves as well. All right. And this not being worthy or that we're undeserving, it comes from a place of low self-esteem. And this again comes back to the way that we were raised, things that we heard, things that we saw, and things that we may have experienced. And so this is where we need to change our thoughts so that we change our story, and then we change our actions, our feelings, and we're going to get a better result every time. I guarantee you, if you learn that technique. So, in addition, most of us grew up with an element of punishment in our lives. Ooh, that's harsh. punishment. Some of us were punished by our parents, some by our teachers, and some of us in certain religious circles were threatened with mother of all punishments, not getting into heaven. Now, you know, Gina and I are Christian business and life coaches. And so everything we do is based on biblical principles in life and in business. But I can remember in the church that I was raised in, there was no grace. And grace is something that's given to you that you do not deserve. There's that word. We are very deserving. God gave us grace. He gave us the gift of grace, even though we don't deserve it. Okay, that's my biblical principle for right now. But we deserve to have wealth as well as anything that our heart desires. And so we need to get over that belief. Recognize that whether you are worthy or not is all a made-up story. Nothing has meaning, ladies, except for the meaning we give it, okay? Just like with money. Money is just something to be used to acquire things. But it has the meaning that we give it, okay? And those meanings go back to the first part of this book. And a lot of us were raised to have not very good thoughts around money. Really just so negative, nasty, unproductive. Okay. So you and you alone determine if you're going to be worthy. It's simply your perspective. If you say you're worthy, you are. If you say you're not worthy, you're not. So borrow our belief, okay? I love that. Change your story. Here's the wealth principle here. If you say you're worthy, you are. I just said that. I'm not going to say that again. All right. So, and another major reason that most people have a problem receiving is that they have brought into the adage of it's better to give than to receive. Well, it is really great to give. It's very satisfying, but that's a crock because it's also equally good to receive. So, and just think of this, for every giver, there must be a receiver. And for every receiver, there must be a giver. It's a two-way street. It's just a circle. It just goes round and round and round, okay? So something I loved about this training when I first heard it, and I heard this in a person years ago from T. Harv Eker, who wrote the book. So awesome. And it goes like this. It's a special prayer. He uses the word universe. I don't know what his religious beliefs are, but I'll use God or universe because God created the universe. If anyone has something great coming to them and they're not willing to take it, send it to me, God. I am open and willing to receive all your blessings. Thank you. And so I remember doing this. I remember using this when I heard this all the time. I would just put it out there, when I was praying or talking. Hey, if there's anybody around me that is ready, is supposed to be receiving something, but doesn't want to receive that, isn't willing to receive it because something's wrong, they don't feel worthy, send it to me. I will receive it. So I want you to start practicing that. And yes, Gina, you love to give and receive. Yes, you are equal in both. And it is such a beautiful gift that you have. Glory, Beatrice, glory. So be thinking about that. I receive what others will not receive. Okay. Let's see. What good do you... Now, this is a really powerful statement. What good do you do for poor people by being one of them? Whom do you help by being broke? Aren't you just another mouth to feed? Wouldn't it be more effective for you to create wealth for yourself and then be able to really help others from a place of strength instead of weakness? Yes, by the way, that was on page 117, Angela. So I want to give you an example. Terry, do you mind me sharing about your story today in our private paid group? Terry, if you're still there. If you're not, okay, I won't use your name, Terry, but I already did. Terry was sharing today that because of our current situation, in the world, she has gone to her plan B, and she has two businesses. She's a photographer, and then she has a health and wellness business. So her health and wellness business, which is her plan B, is now becoming her plan 1 or plan A. And that means that once we all get back to normal, she'll be making enough money from her plan B, and that is leveraged money, by the way, that she'll be able to use her photography business for just mostly giving back. She will not have to rely on that. There you go, Terry. She will not have to rely on her photography business, which she's very limited in. She only has so many hours in the day she can work it. So now she can use her hobby or her first passion to give back, to give to others that may not be able to create beautiful pictures of themselves. What about women that have been in shelters because they've been battered, abused, and they're going to go back out into the workforce. And she can take pictures for these women to be used on their LinkedIn profiles, their resumes, and she can give it to them as a gift because she doesn't need to make money anymore on photography. I mean, hallelujah! That is so beautiful, ladies. And I have seen many of you. We're going to talk about leveraging, I think, in the next chapter, so I won't talk anymore about that. But just think about this principle. Money will only make you more of what you already are. You know, and if you're a giver, if you're a kind person, if you're a generous person, but get really rich and help people. So here's what we need to do. Yes, Terry, we are excited for the good things coming your way. And I've seen this with more women in our private group in the last 3 months than I've seen in years. It's just a testament to what we can do when we set our minds, get our mindsets right. So let's get really rich and then help people that don't have the opportunity to do what you did. This makes a lot more sense to me than being broke and helping no one. Who agrees with that? Okay, so I would like you to just think for just a minute, and I want to take a break, and I want you to post in the group, who would you share with? Who would you bless with either your time, your talent, or your treasure? Those are all gifts that we can give, that we can use, and we're actually called to use them. Our time, our talent, or our treasure. Our treasure is our money. Now, I believe that most women that are on this live right now are very generous women, and you give a lot in many, many different ways. But I'd sure love for you to post who or what you would bless right now if money were not an issue. Thanks, Kristen. Mwah. You love my red frames. Couldn't find the other ones today, so I like the red frames too. They're hot. I love to have fun. Don't you guys? Don't you girls just love it? Yeah. Being broke helps no one. Exactly, Gina. Right. Just another little hungry mouth to feed in the ghetto or whatever that song is. Okay. All right. So let's just jump over here then. Let's go to, the money dance. Last thing. This is the money dance. Then we're going to go into declarations for this chapter. Now that I'm ready. Okay. So this is something else I learned. Whenever you find money, I don't care what amount it is, whether it is a penny, $1, $100, money coming your way, you are to pick up that money, you are to kiss it, and you are to do the happy dance. Woo, 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 woo. I'm rich, I found money. I have done this for years. I will find money on the ground, I will pick it up, I will kiss it, I will thank God for it, and I will do a little spinny circle. By the way, I found this penny laying on my kitchen counter last week, and it was evening time. I was cleaning up, and I thought, where'd that penny come from? Because I normally don't have change. I'd had no change out in my house for months, and this penny shows up. And so I see this as a sign. This is wealth. I'm rich. I found a penny. I'm rich. So I want to encourage you, whenever you find money, it doesn't matter what it is, I want you to bless it, thank God for it, and do the happy dance, okay? So let's go into the next, declaration. So place your hand over your heart. This is what we do at the end of each little chapter here. And I want you to say, I am an excellent receiver. I am open and willing to receive massive amounts of money into my life. Okay? Did everybody say that? Hand over your heart. I am an excellent receiver. I am open and willing to receive massive amounts of money into my life. And then touch your head and say, I have a millionaire mind. Okay. Woohoo! I have a millionaire mind. There you go. You're rich. You're rich. You're on your way to being wealthy. Ladies, if you're watching this for the first time, you may think that's so silly when you do this and you do that. But you know what? It really makes an impact when you take action like that and you speak into yourself. You speak into your life. You speak into your future. We are speaking into our wealth, ladies, because the wealth can do so much for so many, not just ourselves, okay? Gina, you've always done that, and I always think of you when I see money on the ground. Yeah, I have, haven't I, for years, because I think I started reading this 10 years ago. Good, I'm glad that you remember that, and I hope that you're going to start doing it. You know what, did I read the action steps? I didn't read the action steps last time, but I'm going to go through them really quick. Practice being an excellent receiver. Thank people when they give you a compliment or anything. Do not be a deflector of gifts, all right? You need to be aware of that. And I mean any money you find, you should enthusiastically celebrate. Go ahead and scream out, I am a money magnet. I am a money magnet, okay? Anytime you find money, even this penny, because to me that's a sign that I am changing my mindset on money. I am so excited about that. And then pamper yourself at least once a month. Do something special to nurture yourself and your spirit. In fact, I think I missed something. You should actually have a play account where you put money into this account every month and you designate it as money that you're going to nurture yourself on, okay? Can everybody do that? And that can be if you want to make it 10% of the money you bring in, 5%, whatever money amount that you want, you go ahead and do that. Okay, we're on wealth file number 11. Right there, wealth file number 11. We are on page 123. And this is rich people choose to get paid based on results. Poor people choose to get paid based on time. So this is the difference of having a job, or this is the difference of having a business, your own business, right? Because the job is you're going to get a paycheck every 2 weeks, most likely, and you're going to get paid exactly what someone says you're worth, even if you think you're worth more, and you're settling for that. Okay, now sometimes that's okay. Sometimes I have to admit, it wouldn't be bad to get a paycheck every 2 weeks when you're in, kind of a dry spell as an entrepreneur. That happens, right? But you have to have the mindset that, oh, I always have had enough money. I'm a money magnet. I can make more and the money is coming, right? Yes, Gina says, my daughter McKenna and her husband have their own money play accounts. Awesome, awesome habit for us to even start our younger children on. Kristen, if you're still here, you have younger children. Beatrice, you have younger children. You should start this play account, an account where they can nurture themselves. And that's just for themselves, whatever. And so any money that they get, they put a little bit into that nurturing account. Also, they need to put some into the giving back account. That's biblical, 10% tithing. All right, pamper yourself. Here we are. So how have you ever heard this advice? Go to school, get good grades, get a good job, get a steady paycheck, be on time, work hard, and you'll live happily ever after. I don't know about you, but I'd sure like to see that written guarantee. Because any corporate jobs that Mike or I have had in our lifetime, and we've had a lot, and we've been paid well, and we've, saved money and put it in 401ks and all that jazz. But we always felt like we were capable of doing more. And so that's why really we had to go out and become entrepreneurs, because we knew we were never going to have exactly what we wanted just working for a paycheck. So the wealth principle here is there's nothing wrong with getting a steady paycheck unless it interferes with your ability to earn what you're worth. There's the rub. It usually does interfere with what you are worth. Ladies, let me just tell you right now, you each have unique gifts and talents that God has given you with a specific purpose in mind. He has called you to do something in life. He has a plan for your life. And if you do not know what your gifts and talents are, we call that personal branding, spiritual gifts. It's all the same. Love languages, all wrapped together in one beautiful gift called you. I want you to spend some time finding out what your spiritual gifts are, what your personal brand is, because when you know those things, then you're going to have more confidence to be able to go out and do what you're called to do. Now, it's very possible that you are called to do a job. There are people that are called to do a job, and you will be paid well. You will have awesome benefits. But if you're called to be an entrepreneur, you just want to get really strong on what you're really good at and what you're called to do. And that is called, having confidence in yourself when you know who you are. Okay? So living based in security is living really based in fear. What you're actually saying when you are afraid to step out of that 9-to-5 job is, I'm afraid I won't be able to earn enough based on my performance. So I'll settle for earning just enough to survive or be comfortable. Hey, if that's you, that is fine. We are not criticizing any of you for that, but I want you to open your mind up that you are called most likely to more, okay? So here's the thing. Rich people believe in themselves. They believe in their value and in their ability to deliver. Poor people don't. That's why they need guarantees of, I'm going to pay you every 2 weeks. You're worth about $2 an hour. And you're going to go, okay, if that's what you think I'm worth, $2 an hour, I'll receive it. You're worth way more than that, right? All right. Poor people trade their time for money. You've heard that before. And the problem with this strategy is that your time is limited. Never have a ceiling, ladies, on your income. If you choose to be paid for your time, you are pretty much killing your chances for wealth. So, let's go over here. So here's what one thing that he says is that I'm not suggesting, we're talking about leveraging our time now. And he's not suggesting there's anything with being in the personal service business. For instance, personal service. I'm thinking about, but it's very hard to get rich and become wealthy when you're doing personal services unless you learn how to leverage your time. And so I'm going to use an example of our friend Sandy Cole. She, prior to all this situation that we're in right now in our world, she was a massage therapist and a yoga teacher. And she was trading her time for money. And then when the situation hit, she realized, well, I can't do massage and I can't teach in-person yoga. So she took that entire business, not the massage business, but the yoga business, and has put it online. She's leveraging herself. So now instead of, just teaching 5 or 10 people that show up for your yoga class each week, now the world is her oyster. It's limitless. She's unstoppable at how many people she can train and sell her yoga videos for. I'm also seeing, Angela, your name just popped up. I'm seeing you do the same thing. You are you train people how to cook, or you cook for people. You do personal cooking for people. You're a chef. I'm sorry. You're a chef. So I've now seen you taking a lot of what you would have done in person, like for instance, your little Girl Scouts. Now you're training these Girl Scouts who need to get a badge, and you're training these little girls online so they get their badge. That's called leveraging. You can either train one or you can train 10 or 20 at a time. Which would you rather do? 1 or 1,000? Think of it that way. Don't limit yourselves. Yes, I know you're teaching online and it is just amazing. You're doing great things. So, okay. That is, I just want to make sure. Wealth, never put a ceiling on your income. Get paid on your results, not on your time. Does everybody get that? So we're now at our declarations. Put your hand over your heart and say, I choose to get paid based on my results, right? I choose to get paid based on my results. Put your hand on your head. I have a millionaire mind. Woohoo! Congratulations, ladies. You're moving towards wealth every time you do that. Okay, I'm going to stop for a second. Is this all making sense? Ladies, is this all making sense? As we're going through this, are you thinking of things that you can be doing right now that are going to help you leverage your time? Right? Are you thinking of things you need to change in your mind? Are you thinking big or are you thinking small? Are you seeing opportunities or are you seeing obstacles? We all have work we need to do. Constantly we have work we need to do, right, to make changes. I know I am always making changes, having to do the work. So I want you to be thinking about that, and if there's anything you think of, go ahead and post it in the comments because I love to see your shares. Love it, love it, love it. All right, here's our action steps for this one. If you're currently in a job getting paid based on the hourly wage or salary, create and propose a compensation plan to your employer that would allow you to get paid at least partly based on your individual results as well as the results of a company. You know what? I did this once. I went into a credit union, applied for a job. They offered me X amount of money to work so many hours a week. I said, sorry, I can't do that, but I can do this. I can work 3 days a week and you can add commission and still pay me that same amount because I want to be paid for my result. Oh my gosh, I made a bucket load of money in that job. It was a job, but it was salary based on commission and it was only 3 days a week versus the 5. You can do it if you're still working a job, okay? And if you're currently in a job and not being paid what you are worth based on the results you're producing, consider starting your own business. So ladies, some of you that are still in a job, you really should start thinking about doing your own business. If you are interested, you need help with that, check out our private group we can help you with that. Gina and I are business and life coaches, and we coach women all the time on helping them build their businesses, okay? So we are on page 131, and that is wealth file number 12. I'm just going to check my time to see what time we have here. I want to make sure. I always try to keep it. Okay, good. I always try to keep everything at about 30 minutes. All right. And we're just about there, 10 minutes. So wealth file number 12. Rich people think both and poor people think either or. Like, I have to make a choice. I can't have both. I have to have either or. Let's think about that. So rich people live in a world of abundance. Poor people live in a world of limitations. Abundance, limitations. Think about that. Where are you? Where are you, ladies? Of course, both live in the same physical world, but the difference is in their perspective. Poor and middle class people come from scarcity. I know that I lived in a place of scarcity for many, many years, and then I just changed my mindset again. And then I realized that who says I don't have enough? That is just a thought, right? Poor to middle class people, they live with mottos such as there's only so much to go around, there's never enough, and you can't have everything. Okay, fess up. How many I've said that? I've said it. You just can't have everything. Oh gosh. Spank me. Spank me. I have said that way too many times in my life, but not recently. I'm over with those sayings. Okay. Rich people understand that with a little creativity, you can almost always figure out a way to have the best of both worlds. So from now on, when confronted with either or alternative, the quintessential question to ask yourself is, how can I have both? How can I have both? I don't want to make a choice. I want to have it all. We should all want to have it all because we can if we start practicing and putting these principles into place, okay? Okay, it'll take you, this question will change your life. It will take you from a model of scarcity and limitation to a universe of possibilities and abundance. I mean, seriously, don't we want this? Don't we want this? Limitless versus this? Right, okay. So nowhere is both thinking more important than when it comes to money. Poor and middle class people believe that they have to choose between money and other aspects of life. Consequently, they've rationalized a position. I read your comment and I got off track. Consequently, they have rationalized a position that money is not as important as other things. So they're saying, I can only have my family or I can have money. I can work hard at a business and not have my family. Why can't you have both? I want it all. Exactly. So let's set the record straight. Money is important. To say that it's not important as any of the other things in life is just ridiculous, right? It is ludicrous. What's more important, your arm or your leg? Wouldn't it be better to have both? Right? So we can have both. You do not have to make a choice. If you have a wealthy mindset, a rich mindset, you know that you can have both. You can have it all, okay? So think of it this way. Money is a lubricant. It enables you to slide through life instead of having to scraping by. We've scraped by before. Money brings you freedom. Freedom to buy what you want. Freedom to do what you want with your time. Money allows you to enjoy the finer things of life. Instead of going to a restaurant and saying, I'll have chicken again, you can buy the market price item that's on the menu, right? Gives you freedom to have what you want. As well as giving you the opportunity to help others have the necessities in life. That's so important. If you see others that don't even have the necessities, there's a group of women that many of you came alongside of us and helped to sponsor recently because they didn't even have the necessities, and that was food for their children, because they could not get out into the marketplace and sell like they normally did to buy groceries to bring home to their kids. And so many of you came alongside of us. You donated your money, your treasure, so that we could give it to them, so that I think there were about 100 women that got groceries to feed their families for at least a week. These were necessities, ladies. We need to come from a place in our hearts where we are wealthy and we have more than enough, and we want to make sure that people have at least the basics, because some people just don't have the same opportunities that we have. Most of all, having money allows you not to have to spend your energy worrying about not having money. How many of you have worried about, I don't have enough money. I don't have enough money. We don't want to worry about that anymore. So here's the bottom line. You can have your cake and eat it too, right? Rich people believe that you can have your cake and eat it too. How many times have you said, you can't have your cake and eat it too? Mini me, mini me, mini me. Get rid of that thought, because you can have your cake and eat it too. Middle class people believe cake is too rich, so I'll only have a little piece. Poor people don't believe they even deserve cake, so they order a donut and then they focus on the donut, the whole, and wonder why they have nothing. I love that visual. Okay, so you can have your cake and eat it too. Who wants your cake and eat it too? All right, we are on page 137. We are on the final for today, the declaration. So I want you to put your hand. Yes, Gina says, oh yes, we've worried about money before and it feels good to give. Oh, it is such an incredible blessing to give, especially when you know when necessities are being met. But what if you could give even for more than that? This isn't about necessities now. What if you want to bless someone to be able to, that they can bless their child for extras? Oh, it's just going to be a beautiful place when I'm finally able to do that, and I'm getting there very soon. All right, put your hand over your heart and say, I always think that I can have both, and I will have both. I always think both. All right, put your hand over your heart and say that. Then put your hand on your head and say, I have a millionaire mind. Woohoo! Congratulations, ladies. Woohoo! Love the cake visual, Gina. I have a millionaire mind. Yes, I do. I love it. I have totally changed my mindset in the last, year, I would say. That's your word, freedom. My word is freedom. Thank you, Terry. Yes, money gives you freedom. That's all there is to it. All right, so here's our action steps for this concept. Practice thinking and creating ways of having both. So if you are limited in your thinking that you have to have either or, you have to make a choice, I want you to start practicing how you can have both, okay? Whenever alternatives are presented to you, ask yourself, how can I have both? How can I have both businesses? How can I make them both work? Right? Okay. Number 2, be aware that money in circulations adds to everyone's life. Each time you spend money, say to yourself, this money will go through hundreds of people and create value for each one of them. So let's just say I'm going to pay you $100. This is $100 here for something that you're doing. I'm going to buy it from you. Then you're going to give that 100 to someone else, and they're going to buy something from someone else. And this $100 is going to keep circulating. It's not going to change. It's going to keep being $100, okay? And it's going to continue to create value for each one of the people that receives this $100. So don't be afraid to give. Be giving. Be circulating your money. Spend money wisely, using your good money mind, your money blueprint. Okay, and number 3, think of yourself as a role model for others, showing that you can be kind, generous, loving, and rich. I love that. Let's put that down. I love this one, Gina, if you want to put this one down. Think of yourself, it's on page 137, and it's number 3. Think of yourself as a role model for others, showing that you can be kind, generous, loving, and rich, because you have a millionaire mind. Did you love that? You are rich, ladies. You are rich, not only rich with greenbacks, but I think you are also rich. You have rich hearts. You are just beautiful women inside and out, or you wouldn't be associated with us. I know that. We attract rich-hearted women. Gina says, I know someone who prays for the receiver every time she writes a check, even for her bills. That is awesome. I'm going to say something else. I know, and I love that. I know someone who every time she writes out her checks, pays her bills, she uses a green pen, because that makes her feel rich, that she is wealthy, that she can pay her bills on time. And there is more coming. The money keeps circulating, right? It keeps circulating. I'm going to pay that bill, someone's going to receive it, and then they're going to pay someone, and they're going to bless someone. And then before you know it, you're going to have more coming back to you. Ladies, I see it all the time personally. If you do too, I would love for you to share that. Would anyone like to share how they see that money just keep coming around? And thanks, Gina, for posting that. I'm going to say it one more time because I want to leave with this. That you think of yourselves, ladies, as a role model for others, showing that you can be kind, generous, loving, and rich. Woo! That just blows my mind. That's how I want to be, you know? I just want to be that way. So, hey, ladies, I appreciate you joining us. This was the end of week 3. Next week is week 4, the conclusion of our book club on the secrets of the millionaire mind. If you don't have this book, I highly encourage you. All the women that have bought the book so far, they say they're loving it. It's been great. You can buy it at a used bookstore, Thrift Books, or several others for probably less than $5. Highly encourage you to get it. And join us next week. We'll be concluding this book. We actually have 5 wealth principles to get through. And next week's going to be really fun. Well, there's a practice in here that I'm excited to start using again, and I think you're going to love it too. You're welcome, Terry. Ladies, put your comments, post pictures of things that you want to share with others. And I'm just going to read this comment from Gina. Gina says, yes, we have been blessed even during the past few months. More money than we could have asked for. All the kids are working. So blessed. Yeah, I agree with you, Gina. I've been blessed in so many ways. So God bless you all. I love you. Thanks for joining me. It's always so much fun to talk about this with all of you. I'll see you in the comments, in the group, and again next week. Mwah. Bye, ladies.